Alright, time to watch a new Karate Kid movie. Let's go!
So it's gonna be 12 rounds. I mean, let's be fucking honest. It's gonna be like 4 seconds. I would last longer in bed with Margot Robbie than this is gonna take. Anything you two want to say to each other before you fight?
Oh, it's gonna be real quick. I'm gonna tuck you in very nicely, give you your pacifier, and knock you the fuck out, put you right to bed. Then I'm gonna go home and feed my damn pigeons.
I would be fucking terrified if I were you.
Ha, you mean the boxing kid. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today, this one's going to be doing a review for today, this one's going to be doing another movie review. This one was highly requested by you guys for me to go ahead and review this one. Sorry about a little bit of a delay, but we are here to review Karate Kid Legends from 2025. So, a new Karate Kid movie in the franchise of the Karate Kid universe, right? I mean, we've had the Karate Kid back in, the 1980s and stuff, and we've always had new movies here and there. There was the new Karate Kid, there was the 2010 version. Obviously, we just wrapped up Karate Kid's, main series, which is Cobra Kai, which I thought ended in a really fantastic way. And I was always thrown off about the idea that we would get a movie this soon after the end of the original series would end. But, I was down for it. I mean, they advertised, Daniel being in this, and obviously, there were some really good actors in this, so I was kind of curious to see what they would do with a movie like this. And after experiencing the movie, I gotta be honest, it left me with a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, which, I really am saddened by that, because I really thought that this movie could have been good. I think there are elements of it that were good, but I do think in general, when I kind of look at this, I'm kind of like, okay, did this really need to happen this quickly after Cobra Kai ended? No, it really didn't. This movie to me felt like fan service, and it felt like, kind of like they lost the plot. We're going to delve into kind of the finer details, but it really felt like they lost the plot with what they were trying to do with this movie.
Fuck no.
So basically, the premise of this movie is you've got, this kid and his mother, they moved down to this place, right? And it's kind of like a, introducing type of story. And then basically he's going to school. You've got basically this girl that he kind of meets up with, and they kind of are friends, but kind of like each other type of thing. It's the typical, stuff like that. And then basically she kind of has this guy that kind of like teaches this kung fu stuff or whatever, so he kind of gets into it, you know what I mean? And it's kind of an interesting concept. I mean, I was a little bored, but I was like, all right, like, let's see where this goes, you know what I'm saying? And I thought the movie was heading into a decent, kind of direction, and then, Jackie Chu's character basically comes in, and it kind of, the movie almost has like a shift in what it was telling. At first, it's like a kung fu, like almost like boxing thing, and then it kind of just randomly turns into a karate thing. And then they do, obviously, which I know some people do obviously know this, obviously Daniel is in this movie. They put it all over the trailers. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, okay? When the movie kind of shifted, which it took them way too long to get to the point, when the movie kind of shifted into a karate thing, I mean, Daniel's, I think, in like a few scenes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's in a few scenes. You could kind of almost tell, like, Ralph Macchio, they kind of just brought on set to be like, okay, we'll give you a few scenes. We'll give you a few nostalgia scenes about Miyagi. We'll go back to the same old house, the same old car, the same old thing, which that's one thing I'm getting really tired of in this franchise, is that they keep doing the same cheap callbacks to Miyagi every 2 seconds. And, in this movie, they try to, kind of reel you in with nostalgia bait, and it doesn't really work all that well. Daniel is not as involved as you might think. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're expecting a lot of Daniel in this movie, don't. And then it's the typical just tournament thing, and obviously, it kind of ends in a very generic way, I would say. A lot of the movie honestly blended together for me. I honestly was having a hard time staying engaged in the story, and I think the main reason for it is because they kind of tried to make the movie one thing in the first half, and then it kind of shifted gears in the second half, and then it was almost like, I don't care at that point, you know what I'm saying? And then it kind of just turned into a nostalgia bait, sloppy mess, is kind of what it was for me. So, I mean, the kid wasn't bad. I didn't love him, though. I didn't think he was, like, anything special. In terms of kind of the general concept of the movie, I thought it was kind of all over the place in the writing, if I'm being honest. It kind of felt like we wanted to do one thing, but then they were almost like at the last minute like, oh yeah, that's right, it's a karate movie. You know what I'm saying? And that's when the movie started to kind of lose me, you know? And it's like by the time everything happened, I was kind of like, nah, you know, it didn't really land for me, y'all. It really didn't. I thought it was kind of a cheap move. And another thing, I mean, honestly, I know that some people are probably going to ask me, oh, what did you think of the Johnny cameo? I mean, yeah, sure, it was cool to see him briefly, but, I mean, it was a quick scene, you know what I'm saying? It was a good scene. It was good, but I didn't feel like there was much of an impact there, you know what I'm saying? It was good to see Johnny, don't get me wrong. I'm glad Ralph Macchio was in the movie a little bit, but I didn't really feel like, you know, it really made a difference, you know what I'm saying? So, the same sensei from the 2010 version, well, he's in this, he's kind of the other, you know, he's kind of the same thing in this. For this kid, it's kind of a cheap move. It's very just basic writing to me, and a lot of it, like I said, blended together. And like I said, when you watch the movie, you will see for yourself, there is a shift in the narrative. Absolute shift in the narrative. It's insane. So, I don't know. I wasn't really all that impressed with it. I think this franchise should have done the smart thing, admittedly, and waited at least a year or two before doing this movie, because we're just coming off of the end of Cobra Kai, and I loved the ending of Cobra Kai, as you all know, and I am not letting this affect that at all. Cobra Kai ended well. Cobra Kai ended very well. I left very satisfied with it. This movie, it feels like they're trying to hang on to a franchise that admittedly doesn't need hanging on to. I think that they should just end this at this point. I mean, it's karate. It is a great franchise to watch, but at the same time, I do think this movie has kind of established that they should have at least waited a year or two before doing this. Let people kind of get ready for this movie. Not to mention, the writers should have done a cleaner job with the script in general. I do think that. But I think the big problem is with this movie, we just ended the original series, and now they're shoving this in our face, and it's like, oh yeah, I gotta go watch that. Like, I'm 2 weeks late to this movie, and I don't even give a shit, because I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, there's, you know, new Karate Kid movie, right? And then I kind of watch it, and I'm just like, yikes, man, like, what the hell, you know? So, I don't know. It felt like some cheap nostalgia bait for Miyagi, which they gotta stop doing that. Listen, I love Miyagi. I love him to pieces. But they need to move on from that, you know, that whole thing. You know, I understand that he was the lead for a lot of these movies. I understand that he was a big deal. And I understand that the AI generated him in, you know, Cobra Kai, which was laughable in and of itself. But the point being is that I don't think they need to keep doing this, and it felt like that was the only reason why Daniel was even involved in this movie whatsoever, and that was kind of the only thing I was really interested in, because aside from that, like, I didn't find this kid really brought anything that, you know, was that exciting. I think the Cobra Kai kids had a shit ton of charisma in comparison, and I think they kind of blew this kid out of the water. So, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of go middle ground with this movie. I'm going to go 5 out of 10. I didn't hate the movie. I didn't think it was anything horrible. I don't think it was irredeemable or anything like that. But they didn't do the best job. And admittedly, I was on my way to the theaters to go see either this or Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff movie. I didn't have time for both, so this weekend I'm going to go see Ballerina. But in the end, I mean, I did not give a shit. I should have gone to see Ballerina because I've heard that that movie's really good. But I got this out of the way. Kind of ashamed in giving it a 5 out of 10, but it's the best I can do with it, admittedly. It was very sloppy, nostalgia bait. It was very unoriginal. It felt very just like they didn't know what to do, and the movie kind of just shifted. And like I said, you'll know it when you see it. It very much, the narrative just switches. It's very weird. So that's kind of my opinions on this film, Karate Kid Legends. I kind of hope that they let this franchise simmer for a bit if they're going to do anything else with it. I would definitely suggest waiting a little bit now because I feel like this movie kind of killed the vibe a little bit. I would definitely wait a little bit before doing anything else. That's just me, though. So anyway, post your comments down below. Let me know what y'all thought. And of course, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe and don't miss any of the videos. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for Karate Kid Universe. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.